As time goes on, I continue to realize that I've been on this platform for a really long time. At this point, I've been on this channel for over 2 years, and even though I haven't really made a special announcement on that or anything, hey, it's been over 2 years since I actually uploaded my first Let's Play video on this channel and kicked this off. So, over this course of time, one would think that I would get better at doing Let's Plays, and just become a more organized person, as doing Let's Plays is something that does actually require me to be organized. But, welcome back to another re-recording for Super Mario 64 DS. I forgot to do 1 star. Just 1 star. I'm going to do another introduction in like 5 minutes, but I forgot to do red hot log rolling. So, let's get this out of the way first, and then you can go back to your scheduled YouTube video. Again, as someone who's been on this platform for 2 years at this point, 2+ years, rather, I should have a decent, yeah, I should be able to speak, for one. I should also be able to at least stay somewhat organized. But in the last re-recording I did, I was actually missing 1 star, and, you know, this is also an easy star, so that's definitely not the reason I had so much extra time afterwards, but, it was one of the few reasons I had, a lot of, or at least a decent amount of extra time to record and talk about miscellaneous stuff in the previous episode, when I was re-recording things. But yeah, this is it. There's a log you gotta roll on, and it takes you to a star, which was locked behind this wall, and that's it. So, let's go back to the present. Luigi has a really long neck, especially in like his beginning sleep pose, and like I noticed that before, but it's like really long, like incredibly long. Anyway, enough body shaming. Welcome back to Super Mario 64 DS. Last time we started off Lethal Hot Lava Land, and this time we're hopping back into the easiest level in the game. Hot Foot into the volcano. Hot-footed into the volcano. I was close. This is actually kind of interesting. So, there are sub-areas inside of larger areas. That's something that I believe we've gotten accustomed to before. Yeah. In like Cool Mountain, there was the slide, etc. Well, inside this volcano is actually another sub-area. There are 2 stars we could possibly get at the moment, but I'm going to go for the easiest one first. Some of these can actually get a little bit more difficult because it is tight platforming on the Nintendo DS version of this game, and even on the actual N64 version of this game, it's still a little tricky. Also, that's a really bad noob trap, what I just passed. Like, who's going to know that there's just this giant cheese grater hiding behind that there? It's really dumb. I don't like that trap at all. It's not, like, particularly difficult to avoid or anything, or interesting. It's just a newbie trap. So, don't get caught by that. Don't do it. And this is it. A little bit of tight platforming, nothing too difficult just yet, but that is a star down. Seriously, Lethal Hot Lava Land is one of the easiest levels in the basement. The next 2 levels we're going to get to are slightly more difficult and also significantly more annoying. This is actually a very fun level, and I don't like the rest of the levels on the basement. The basement is one of the few areas in Mario 64 that I genuinely dislike. This level itself is really cool, I like it a lot, but the areas we're going to get to a little bit later. Oh, God. Hopefully that gives you a decent idea of how much I dislike some of the levels we're getting into. For reference, one of them is an actual maze. It's not too horrible, but it's definitely not the most fun thing in the world. And the other one is a sand level, which somehow finds a way to be worse than a water level. Somehow. It's really tough to do, but it did it. Anyway, this is pretty much the exact same as it's in the same area as the last star we just got. But this time we have to ride these little platforms up to the top and do a bit of tight platforming on these platforms. Pretty neat stuff, It's still not anything overly interesting, but it is pretty dang fun to do. This is probably the tightest bit of platforming that we can completely avoid with Luigi. Thank you, Luigi. I appreciate it. It's not like I avoided anything like super hard, but it's a little bit of tight platforming, and falling down all the way kind of sucks a lot, so I didn't want to risk it. Last star, Flaming Silver Stars. It's just another Silver Star mission. I don't think there's anything that's actually locked off for any character to get in this area. We don't need the last character to pick up everything that's in this area, so that's fantastic. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself. I don't believe any of the Silver Stars are locked behind any black blocks or anything like that, but it's always worth a shot looking into. That's where the Silver Star's actual star is going to be, so I'll come back to that a little bit later. I think I kind of want Mario for this, because Mario's Power Flower ability will be a lot more useful. And I believe that we also have access to the wing cap here, which makes things, again, significantly easier. I don't know if I can get back. Okay, that's good enough. Oh yeah, also, fire damage, whether it be lava or actual fire, does not make you lose your cap. And if you're running through fire while you're on fire, you don't actually elongate the time you're on fire. So, two very important things to mention while you're in Lethal Lava Land. And, let's pick up this and fly around a bit. This will make things slightly easier. There are more Silver Stars chilling out. Looks like right over here there's one. I didn't really need the wing cap for that one. But the one that's over here, it looks like it does. The one that's... oh, there's actually two really far over there. Okay. There's one that's over there, you can see the shiny in the distance, and another one which would be right over there, yeah. These two are very close to each other, and I'm pretty sure that the wing cap makes this a little bit easier. For this specific Silver Star, I just got a little bit easier. The wing cap's not super necessary in this area. The wing cap's not super necessary in this area, but it's worth picking up. It makes a lot of these Silver Stars significantly easier to grab. It also makes getting back to the area I need to get to a lot easier, which, keep in mind, with okay. I don't know why flying didn't work there, but it just decided to not. That's fine. Keep in mind, though, Silver Stars do fall out of you if you get hit by an enemy. So, you don't want to actually take a lot of damage here. So, having the wing cap for getting back to the star, it makes things a lot easier. But there we go. That is... Lethal Lava Land. The name was escaping me for a second. That's it completely finished. Minus the 100 coin star, which I totally forgot about for a second. Oh! How useful. Thanks for showing me where all the red coins are. Done. Done, done, done. Super duper easy. I actually didn't even have to go into the volcano. There's a decent amount of coins in the volcano, so even if you don't get all the coins in the beginning area, still, there's a lot of coins in the volcano and makes things a lot easier. So with that done, we have done everything in Lethal Lava Land, and we still have plenty of time. So let's move on to another level. Speak. Oh my god. It's been a little while. Been a teeny tiny hot minute, so apologies on my part. What do I want to go to next? Let's go into the worst level in the game, I think. In that random wall, there's Shifting Sandland. In the Talons of the Big Bird. I think this level kinda sucks. And here's why. It just does. Very in-depth reasons, I know. But this isn't fun a lot of the time. There's a lot of instant death areas. There's a lot of simple, like, oh, you make one tiny baby mistake, guess what? You have to start something all over again. There's a lot of just straight line type of things, like right here. This straight line area, it's not all that fun to platform through, I'm not gonna lie, and it's not all that interesting. There's also a few stars here that I'm gonna have to come back for later, so it's not one of those just knock it out immediately type of things. But, whatever. It's gonna have to be done eventually, so here I am. So there's this bird carrying around a star. You want to jump into that bird so he can drop his star. But because we were kind of a jerk and we stole that star from him, we will actually have to pay for it a little later. You'll see what I mean by that, again, a little later, but that's for a little later. Shining atop the pyramid. This one, I think this one's alright. I remember this one being just fine. So there are fly guys here. There's Bob-ombs, fly guys, pokies, tox boxes is what I believe these guys are called. There's a bunch of different enemies here. There's also this tornado, and that can actually make getting to the pyramid slightly easier. Also, sand, another reason to hate this level. You sink into sand if you just stand for long enough, depending on the sand you're in, so careful about that. I'm going to... He's going to come this way, right? Yeah, okay. I actually didn't read the sign. Hello? Watch out! Don't let yourself be swallowed by quicksand. If you sink into the sand, you can't jump out. And if your head goes under, you'll be smothered. The dark areas are bottomless pits. Yes. So if you get sink into the sand enough, you will actually be, well, smothered, for lack of a better word. And also, these dark sand areas act as bottomless pits. They are instant death territory. Being crushed by these tox boxes are also instant death things, so be careful. There's also whatever these things are, the little fire guys. They reappear in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, except they are actually, at that point, I believe, based upon electricity instead of actually being based upon fire. Wow. I don't remember their exact names. There are some that do shoot fire, though. Just in a different way than whatever they're called in this game. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. They shoot fire at you once. They can shoot fire at you any day of the week. But in the new Super Mario Bros. Games and the 2D games, it's slightly different. Okay. This is bad. I think I can save myself from this, but this is slightly bad. Getting sucked into that quicksand. Speak. Getting sucked into that quicksand is pretty bad because that is an instant death type thing. So careful now, careful now. Luigi's not the only one that spins in that, by the way. Mario also spins whenever he's caught in that tornado. Luigi's not special in that case. Even though he does spin when he does a backflip, that's not like something which is special to only Luigi. Alright, let's try this again. This isn't too bad of a mission, but it can get a little bit tricky because there are a lot of enemies surrounding this pyramid. There's also a lot of slopes, and as I've previously stated, slopes in this game are a little bit funky, and this is just a perfect example of that. You slightly walk onto a slope, and bam, you start sliding down it. And with how tight the platforms can get, it can get a little bit tricky. It's not super hard, but it is a little bit annoying. Inside the ancient pyramid, this one's not super interesting, and I do another thing about this level. You have to keep walking the same path over and over again just to get to the pyramid. What I can do, to make this slightly less painful, is grab a Mario cap. Backflips aren't enough to get to there. Okay, then I will do a triple jump instead. There we go. Up here there is a question mark box, and it gives you a wing cap. So that makes getting over to the pyramid slightly easier. But this area itself is, it's not all that interesting. It's just the inside of this pyramid. It's another little secret mini area that you can't exit, by the way. Don't hop into here immediately if you're doing a 100 coin mission. You won't be able to get back out. But this area is not super duper ultra interesting, and I will be back here later, so if there's anything I do want to describe, I can do that slightly later. So I do want to talk about things that I've been doing recently in my own life. Specifically in gaming. I've been playing a lot of Persona 5. That game, I'm now about like 87, 88 hours into it. So I am almost done with it. I'm on the final palace. I am so close to being done. and that's pretty exciting. That's a game I've been working on for a year plus, so that's something that does actually mean a lot. And I also have purchased Persona Q2. I played about 6 hours into that, so not super far, but I will be getting a little bit more into it later after I finish Persona 5. I think that's going to be what I'm going to head to immediately after, unless I can get Nier Automata, in which case I'll be heading over to Nier Automata. If you couldn't tell, I'm going to be playing a lot of PlayStation games as of late, or I've been playing a lot of PlayStation games as of late, and I'm planning on playing a lot more in the future. I do have a lot of PlayStation games I need to beat, Tales of Berseria, etc., so I'll be getting to those eventually, someday. Anyway, going back into the game itself. This is just climbing up places. This area, again, isn't super duper interesting, but this is just kind of a trek up to the top of a pyramid, and I think that's an interesting concept. I'm not going to hate everything this level presents, but I don't know. I think this is perfectly fine. Type platforming in Mario 64 in general is just kind of icky. It's not bad by any means, but this area just has a lot of tight platforming, a lot of instant death things. I don't know, it's just kind of a frustrating level. It's not something I go back to if I have the choice. It's actually something I avoid more often than not while playing this game, so luckily I don't have to go back to it for the N64 version. And also a fun fact about the way I was recording this, I actually lost the levels that were altered in the N64 version, so for a little while, I was just playing the DS version, and I wasn't actually thinking about the N64 version and what levels were altered. Which is really, really bad, considering the fact that I specifically mentioned and have already gone back to the N64 version before. I was a little bit afraid of that. But I've found out what levels I need to go to, everything is perfectly fine, everything is fixed. Anyway, I think that's enough for today's episode. Next time, we'll hop straight back into whatever this level was, the one I don't like. Shifty Sandland. I'll hop back into that, but again, that's for next time. Until then, yay!